Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 2 of some Zerg v Zerg action. That's very, very hard to say when you're a little tipsy. This is Josh Neutral Chaotic ducK. Along with me is Nick Cervantes Brown.
So excited to be here.
We are incredibly excited to be here after that thrilling game 1 of all Zerglings all the time.
Were there some roaches in there? No,
No.
I'm thinking of when you played that.
Yeah, we didn't nearly get that exciting, so we'll see what happens this game. Race versus race is a very, very hard matchup to pull off. I mean, sometimes they're incredibly boring, sometimes they're action-packed. Kind of all depends on what's going on.
Absolutely. And mirror matchups are definitely, in my opinion, the hardest to strategize for. And so far, in the last game, we saw pretty much a perfect mirror of terms of build, except for Matt expanded faster and just was able to outproduce.
Yeah, and in this game, we already see some differences from ducK, the orange Zerg. He's going a pretty fast spawning pool, whereas clicK doesn't have anything yet. So we'll see what happens there. Now
I don't remember the timing. Is that an earlier pool, or is clicK getting a later pool?
I guess clicK is getting a later pool. He's already at 16 food. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't grabbed a spawning pool yet. But this is a bigger map, so a little bit of extra economy might pay off. He might actually be going hatch first. That'd be an interesting.
I have no idea. According to his statement in the last game, yeah, it looks like that's what he's doing.
He is going hatch first. Okay.
He was saying that he was going to just rush all the time because that was his only strategy, but apparently that was a clever deceit.
Yeah, and I actually like this move a lot. Usually that is a ducK move, going hatch pretty early, but now clicK is going to get some seriously good macro going. So
yeah. And Matt is apparently again going for his early economy build, and he's not got any units on the way.
Yeah.
So if he tries to delay, then this could give clicK a serious economic advantage.
No, that's actually really interesting to me. He's what is he doing? He's
Going
upgrading
for
his hatchery already. It looks like.
No, I think he's gonna make a. I'm so confused. No, it's just the natural that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really confusing momentarily. Because we are fantastic professional video game casters.
And not drunk at all. ducK will be going with speedlings, whereas clicK will be going with a more macro game, and it'll be interesting to see who can hold off what, because clicK still doesn't have any units out, and he's going to need to get some attacking units pretty soon. His spawning pool is just about done, and I imagine he'd pop out a couple Zerglings just to defend. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh, he's going spine crawlers, which could be actually very effective against the all Zergling frontal assault, as long as there's not the numbers.
Might move pretty quickly across the map, and
oh, yep, and they're going to get here long before the spine crawlers, and the spine crawlers are all in the main, in fact.
Well, that's not bad, because I would imagine that the Zerglings will try and take out the hatchery first, which they're going to do pretty easily. And that'll actually give some time for the spine crawlers to come down, but clicK will be pretty far behind without any attacking units to kill the Zerglings.
He now has 6 Zerglings of his own coming in, but Matt's continually reinforcing as well.
The only thing I'm worried about too is that the spine crawlers might be moving around. Yeah, the spine crawlers might be moving around, or the Zerglings might move around the spine crawlers pretty easily, considering that speed is already done. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that many Zerglings they could pretty easily run by. And the other issue is clicK is obviously very far behind in minerals now. So
absolutely. Though he does have quite a few saved up at the moment.
And I like the way that he's repositioning the spine crawlers here. I think that's a very, very smart idea.
Yeah, just tighten everything up, make it harder for Matt to get in. But in this position, it's going to be really hard for clicK to catch up. Matt's getting his natural.
Yeah.
And all he really has to do is contain for a while, and he'll...
click's going to try and force some aggression here.
Oh, yeah, pull some of those Zerglings. Oh, but if I had been a little less careful, clicK was trying to lure some back to the spine crawlers.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to get one snipe. But
it's not going to be enough, unfortunately, and especially because Matt has that speed boost. He's just going to get some free shots. And clicK is basically contained right now, and Matt has 2 hatcheries up, 2 hatcheries in the process of being built. And
absolutely,
it's not going to be so good.
All he has to do is wait for a little while here, and I like this. clicK managed to think about getting a creep to him where he can spread his creep over there and move his spine crawlers out a little bit.
Yeah.
And he gets another free Zergling, but Matt's just going to be able to produce those so much faster. And we see that Matt's getting a lair, so we might actually see more than Zerglings in this game.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it, but
I don't want to jinx it either.
that is a possibility.
I'm sure clicK's freaking out a little bit, but you know, this game isn't over yet. He's pretty far behind, but also, you know, ducK doesn't have that many units. I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a pretty difficult game. I like the way that clicK is playing with his spine crawlers right now, moving them up as far as the creep can expand. But, I mean, Matt has pretty much total map control, and it's just not looking good right now.
And he gets another couple of Zerglings there because Matt was not able to... It was not aware that the spine crawlers had moved up, I should say, which was, again, a very good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but I just feel like he needs to move a little bit faster with this plan, because every second that he wastes is another second where Matt is going to be droning up and just slowly being able to take care of all this.
And here we go. He's finally going to be able to push these Zerglings out of his base. So now what he desperately needs to do is go for like a quick triple expand or something.
And he has the resources to do it. I'd like to see him either do a quick triple expand or just go all out.
Oh no! And he accidentally did the click on a single Zergling again, and unfortunately that's going to just really cost him.
Yeah.
And he Matt again barely catches his Zerglings from running into certain doom.
I'm surprised that clicK hasn't grabbed any Vespene geysers or anything like that, because he could be doing a nice one-base build. I mean, he's not so far behind, but he has an enormous amount of minerals stockpiled up. And
yeah, he could absolutely at least be getting a macro hatch or something to help outnumber those Zerglings. Definitely. And here we see Matt's going for an infestation pit. He may be rushing like a tier 3 unit or something since he has this nice contain.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. He's breaking down this rock wall just to open up the avenue for attack. And I don't know. I think this isn't looking good for clicK at all. Matt is building a spire right now. clicK is on only ground units, but if clicK can just grab some extractors and start getting some gas out, start slowly stockpiling up, I mean, we'll see what happens, but it's not the best look right now.
And there, clicK gets a handful of those Zerglings because he pulled exactly half the army, which was interesting that worked out that way, but very good for him. And he'll be able to expand to his natural soon. He just needs to walk those spine crawlers down.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, the only reason I can think of for Matt to get Infestation Pit, Hive, Spire is Broodlords.
Yeah, and Broodlords will do a pretty good amount of damage. Yeah. Oh, that
particularly against
might go down. Well.
Oh, but the other ones were in position to protect it. Well placed. And just slowly marching those out, and he's done a good job managing those, but Matt is just a master of that macro game.
I'm kind of surprised that ducK is going for Broodlords, if that's indeed what he's going for, because clicK really has no anti-air. He's still in tier 1 units. He's making 20 Zerglings right now. He's all about just these tier 1s, and ducK is almost to Broodlords, which are great, but I don't know. It just seems kind of like a misread from both people. Both of them have a ridiculous number of minerals stockpiled up. clicK doesn't have speedlings, and yeah, I mean, it looks like Matt is for sure going for broodlords. He's building 10 corruptors.
Absolutely, and I'm actually very impressed with clicK. I think he's done a really good job with a bad situation on this map. The fast expand was a risky call, and that kind of cost him, but he kept his cool, managed to push himself back out. Took some time, but he made the right moves.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just sucks that Matt is so good at the macro game that most of us are very envious of.
No, I can definitely testify for that. Matt is a very good player, and clicK, he's doing everything pretty well, but it's going to be hard to counter broodlords, and I would imagine that the majority of these corruptors are going to become broodlords in about 10 seconds. So 10.
Once Matt realizes he has the money and that they're sitting there, and it looks like he just now did. And oh wait, he can't push it because he doesn't have a greater spire yet. And there we go.
There they go. There's one broodlord coming. Just one. Two.
Is there some kind of reason he can't mass click them?
I'm not sure why. I would imagine you could just.
There they go.
Oh, and this is kind of.
But clicK chooses this opportunity to attack with his Zerglings.
It's actually kind of a brilliant move, except for the fact that clicK is massively outnumbered.
Yeah, he just cannot keep up with the production of 3 bases for so long. And now the first broodlords are coming out. And this is just a matter of time.
The Zerglings get surrounded, and the broodlords are out in mass. And I would imagine that they're going to start moving across the map any second now. And unless clicK can get some miraculous anti-air down,
he's got spore crawlers putting out, but what he needs to do is clump those up near the spine crawlers.
Yeah.
And so that he can prevent the attacks from killing them.
It's not a horrible idea, but with that many Zerglings, I can't imagine anything happening well.
Yeah. And now we see this massive Zergling broodlord blob, except most of the broodlords got left in the base. And they're going to start pushing out here.
Yeah, here comes broodlords. We do have 3 spore crawlers coming up, but I don't think that there's going to actually be enough spine crawlers here to handle the broodlords.
I think you're right. A valiant effort from clicK, but man, when you get contained like that, there's just not a whole lot you can do. Oh, but it looks like the spore crawlers might get one of the broodlords.
Get one.
There we go. Small victories.
Way too many broodlords coming out right now.
And apparently another broodlord tried to sneak into the main, but he had those 2 spore crawlers. Actually, I'm starting to think this 2 spore crawlers in the main was a really smart placement.
Yeah, it's a good placement, except for I'm kind of surprised that ducK hasn't moved in with all his Zerglings yet. I'm pretty sure he has this at this point, especially because the spore crawlers do not have the range to kill the broodlords. And there's the GG by clicK. Game 2 goes to ducK.